Hi, Tea Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Bleach episode 244. I know, okay, but we're getting right back into it. There's so much going on at this point. I had to go back and rewatch some things to get myself caught back up. But we have the man, the myth, the legend, Kenpachi, showing up at the end of the last episode, which I'm very intrigued to see how that's going to turn out because his Zanpakutō is like weird, or at least his relationship with his Zanpakutō is weird. So when we're dealing with this whole arc about personifying Zanpakutō, it makes me interested. And like his is probably normal because he hasn't been around. Also, we have like Mayuri's showing up, and I do love that everyone's reaction is like, one, they know who Zanpakutō it is, and two, they're like, run, just get away as fast as you can. Some interesting things that we're going to be dealing with going into the next episodes, at least, as we try to figure out exactly what's going on, especially with Byakuya. I still have so many questions. Anyway. In 3, 2, 1, go. This arc really is strange to go through because there's so many things that fascinate me as someone who just loves world building. And I know that some of it is canon, but I also know that everyone's Zanpakutō is fine later. You know what I mean? Like, even with the mystery of like Byakuya, I'm like, I know that it's gonna be fine because like, I know that at least whatever he's doing is going to be fine because he's still, like, on our side later. I did lose my train of thought a little bit because of this opener. I forgot that we had changed the music going on. This is very, like, early 2000s anime, and it makes me very happy because that's where I grew up. It makes me nostalgic. I'm trying to think if I knew this song before. I know the band, whose name I don't think I can say for like YouTube censorship things. But they're definitely a group that I remember listening to a lot back, like circa 2008? 9? Not to age myself. All right, let's see where we end up going with Mr. Kenpachi. He always throws a wrench in things, so I'm assuming chaos of some kind. Oh, I need Kira to have a win. Just like personally, as like a never-ending fan of just Kira in general. I need him to win something. It wasn't looking good. Not that I'm still salty about everything with Kira. His Zanpakutō was so cool, though. Check the eyeliner, though. Just like, what an entrance. I love just the smile. Yep. I love that Ikugi is just like smiling. Let's go. Wow, just the absolute destruction around him. Honestly, I would expect nothing else. The look of everyone like, we were not in the middle of a fight without you. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you did make a little bit of a splash. Oh, I don't like that we were on the same page with that line. I mean, they are used to the property damage at this point. How many times has there been destruction? The poor people, like the poor souls that just like live here, right? That like aren't soul society. Oh, you have a challenger. Didn't even bother to dodge. You're just like, can I help you? Yeah, I like how he was like, I'm gonna pick and choose like who I'm gonna go up against, not you. Remember when I said I needed Kira to have a win? That's not what I meant. But like again, I know that it's fine later. It's like with Rukia's. Like I'm assuming that we're gonna figure that out, which I guess that's why they set it up, right? Like we got to see what happens when a Zanpakutō is like defeated by someone who isn't their actual like Soul Reaper. I was gonna say because of the ability of your Zanpakutō. That's so interesting to like spin the idea of like aesthetics into something that's almost like a character, like a costume, right? Yeah, they're paranoid about how others view them. But like his is like narcissism is like the facade. I mean, you are kind of based off of each other, I'm just saying. You know, pot to kettle. To be fair, though, the little bit that I got to see of his ability with Thousand Year Blood War was like crazy. He was busy. He got here as fast as he could. I love the drawings. The music cue too. I love the like parent energy of like, we'll go back to the candy store later, we're busy. Please don't include Ichigo in this. Oh, are we gonna fight? Because I bet he would love to fight. Yeah. I'm like, I bet, Kenpachi is like, oh, I get to fight Byakuya? Heck yeah. Put me in the ring. It is kind of an interesting dynamic that, like, you do kind of get to see what it's like for them to fight each other. In that, like, their Zanpakutō would fight. Oh, dang! We did say we're gonna go all out. But, like, you know, you kind of get to see what the powers up against each other would be in a way that the regular story wouldn't give you the room for. Me too. Kenpachi keeps doing, like, crazy things. Like, every time I think I know what his power level might be like, he's just like, rules. Strategy. Hateful might be the best word, yeah. Yeah. What'd I say about property damage? Again, the poor souls that just live around here, that aren't like soul reapers and everything, that are just trying to exist, and y'all are causing absolute havoc. Because he's like not, I don't know, crumbling in the face of everything going on. Still standing. Look at you go. I mean, I kind of would expect it, but good. We like the determination. I mean, that's not exactly true, but that's because I come from the future. Oh, now we care. Interesting. I love that it took like Kenpachi coming back for us to like rally. You know, it was like, Captain's back. Everybody, get it together. The way that, I mean, I kind of get where he's coming from because like his attack, right, Kenpachi's, kind of pushed everyone out of the way. And he was already like, I'm gonna go all out. So like, one, either get it out of the way or you're gonna get hurt. But also pushing them away is like getting them out of the way. He wants to fight Byakuya. Nice. I love the parallel directly there. Nice. I was thinking like there were already some interesting parallels, and then I like that we did like a more overt one. You're going through it, Angie. As usual. I kind of hate that he gets like the Yamcha treatment. Oh, he's fine. Of course he is. Always ready to trash talk, and I appreciate that about Ichigo. After my own heart. How you doing, big guy? I kind of like them. I feel bad for these two. They're kind of cute. No, not that kind of hand. He's trying his best. I do love a gentle giant, though. I know that he just punched, but like... I love a giant, okay? Strategy. I was thinking it's really interesting to have, like, Soi Fon, right? Of, like, her fighting style is so different from someone like Kenpachi, right? And then to have those two stories, like, going on near each other is also an interesting kind of parallel. I don't know if Byakuya knows how to go wild. I think he only has, like, minor changes in facial expression. I think if he laughed, I'd be freaked out. Didn't even try to dodge, though. It's so interesting to see the two attitudes, like, right next to each other. Oh, we got a hit in. He's just gonna try and not dodge, then. You're just challenging him in a completely different way. See? He already was like, whatever happens to this body is just because I'm in a fight. Whenever someone's like, hey, Kenpachi, you can't do this, he's just like, alright, change of tactic. We'll see where we end up. Not the best comeback, but I understand that we're in a high stress situation. Ooh, we got a hit in too. Not very well though. It's quite a cut. Like, again, Kenpachi's just like, I'm not fast enough to dodge this, so... Similar wavelength. I mean, they do know each other, I suppose. I'm assuming there's a plan. Oh, distraction. It's almost as if it's like it's almost as if you're like based off of each other. Yeah, take 5. Great that you finished your little speech, but like, you know. Yeah, I'm like, now you're just gonna make him want to try. See? What I say? Kenpachi's just like, that's great. I don't want you to hold back. You should be trying to actively kill me. Face off. I mean, is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised that Kenpachi was like, I want you to hit me with all the strength you possibly could? Because I'm not. I'm like, of course he did. Of course he did. The moment that you're just like, you're not fast enough to dodge this, he's just like, okay, then I won't bother to dodge it. Like, it's not gonna discourage him. I do like having Kenpachi put into this dynamic, though. Like, not just because his Zanpakutō, like, his relationship is different with it, so he's already going to be something interesting in this, because I feel like he doesn't rely as much on just, like, the I don't know, like, magic system, if you will, of his Zanpakutō, right? Like, he doesn't quite rely on that side of it as much as some of the others do. And because of that, he's already going to be kind of interesting in this dynamic. But then you add in the fact that he's not going to let anything make him hesitate, right? So many of the other Soul Reapers through the story have been like hesitant because they're like, I don't want to accidentally destroy my own Zanpakutō. I don't want to destroy someone else's Zanpakutō. Also, I have an emotional connection to like this Zanpakutō that I've been, you know, working with for a while. And then there's Kenpachi who's just like, screw it. Could be out of a job. Oh, so we're gonna be getting into maybe Mayuri's a little bit, at least from the preview. The next one, that's gonna be scary. It makes poisonous gas. I know that I probably don't need to watch this end little thing, but I'm gonna. Take a nap. back. But we had a commission. There for a while. Like I was saying, I was already interested in Kenpachi as part of the story because yes, the stakes are a little bit weird for this because I know that I'm like, oh, the Zanpakutō are gonna be fine when we get into later stuff. So that's not entirely what is gonna draw me into this story in any way. It's like the world building aspect and like how are we personifying these like Zanpakutō and like exploring the dynamic of like the Soul Reapers through the series and how they like interact with their abilities or like how they view their like Zanpakutō when they actually have to have a conversation. I think is an interesting dynamic in general, and some of the like mysteries that we got. I'm like, how are we gonna tie this all up so we end up where we need to at the end of a filler arc? But like Kenpachi, I think is the most capable of being untouched by the concept of this arc because his relationship with his Zanpakutō is already weird, and the fact that he has to show up so late, I understand that from like a writing perspective, because if he was earlier on, the mystery and the dynamics of okay, what's going on, and then like I was saying, some of the hesitation that happened of what happens if we fight a Zanpakutō. Does it get destroyed? Do we have to fight them? Does someone else have to fight them? Do we never get them back? Is there a possibility that we can get them back? So there was all of that kind of mystery that we're trying to build up as some of the like momentum of the story of being like, okay, yes, we can get our Zanpakutō back. Yes, it has to be us like fighting like the Soul Reaper of the owner of the Zanpakutō has to be fighting them. I'm assuming there's going to be some workaround with the ones like with Arukiya's and like Kira's, right? Like those are going to be ones that we're gonna have to find some like alternative that's saying that we can fix the swords afterwards or the Zanpakutōs afterwards. But if you had introduced Kenpachi in earlier on, you couldn't have done any of that because he would have been just like, let's fight them anyway. Even like the breaking the fourth wall there in the little preview of if Kenpachi's Zanpakutō was released, we would all be out of a job. Everything would be destroyed. It would be chaos for everyone. And I think that is also something to consider. It's like with Ichigo's, like we had to settle everything with Ichigo and his Zanpakutō early in the storyline, because if we didn't, the amount of catastrophic power that would happen. Even like with Byakuya, right? Like Byakuya, his Zanpakutō is so powerful that you have to have a different dynamic with his character. So as much as I'm like, it's a bit of a mystery and like what exactly is the plan, I'm assuming there's some kind of game plan for why we're siding with this rebellion that's going on and everything with the Zanpakutō. But like I also understand from like a logistical like writing perspective, you need to do something with Byakuya so that his Zanpakutō is just like destroying everything, right? So there has to be like some amount of like loyalty between the two so that you can like rein in the power of Byakuya's Zanpakutō. So I think it's really interesting to bring in someone like Kenpachi at this point in the story and push things along of, all right, we know some of the basic dynamics of how this is going to get resolved. Now we just have to like up the ante and kind of put pressure on the like conflict that's happening. And I am interested to see what happens with Mayuri's Zanpakutō, because if we're talking about super powerful Zanpakutō, that is definitely one of the ones that puts everyone on edge, which valid, it's very scary. So we'll see what happens there. I'm assuming we might have some science involved as we figure out what's going on. But I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to the next time I post a Bleach reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.